One of the key features of Microsoft 365 is the inclusion of Office apps. In this lesson, you'll explore the interfaces and discover the basic features of the apps that come with a Microsoft 365 Business Standard subscription. The apps you'll look at include Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. As well as these standard apps, you'll also have the option to explore the following: Access, Publisher, and OneNote. Keep in mind that most of these applications are available in both online and offline versions. There are often significant differences between these versions, such as reduced features. But don't worry, you'll find out about these differences in more detail over the course of this lesson. Grace is an employee with Westcal in their fulfillment centre. However, she would like to transition to the editorial side of the business. To achieve this goal, she has begun a publishing course at the local university. As part of this course, she needs to develop a familiarity with basic Microsoft Office 365 applications. One of the key applications that Grace needs to develop her skill set with is Microsoft Word. You're probably already familiar with Microsoft Word on a basic level, but here's a quick recap of some key facts to make sure you're up to speed. Microsoft Word is Microsoft's powerful word processing program and is used to create professional documents. You can also add tables, images, and much more. Word's interface is intuitive and easy to use. It's also customizable, so you can make sure that the tools you need are easily accessible. Microsoft Word is offered as both online and desktop versions. Although the online version has limited features, it provides most of the frequently used tools needed to compose a simple document. Next, explore the different parts of the Microsoft Word interface. The first part of Word that we'll explore is the title bar. This is where the name of the current file is displayed, along with other information, like if it's been saved. You can select the file name to change it. Next is the ribbon interface. This displays tab commands organized into groups. You can use these tab commands to create and edit different elements of your documents, like tables or paragraphs. The working area is the main portion of the Word document. This is where you can view, create, and edit content. Finally, there's the status bar. This bar is used to display information about the document, such as the page number, the word count, and other information like the default language. You've explored the Microsoft Word interface and key features. You're now ready to open the app and start exploring it for yourself. Excel is a key application in the Microsoft 365 Office suite. I'm sure you've heard of Excel, but are you familiar with what it's used for? Microsoft Excel is Microsoft's spreadsheet program for managing numerical data like financial information. You can also use it to add charts, shapes, and much more. Microsoft Excel has both online and desktop versions. If you need only simple formulas, the online version will satisfy your requirements. Otherwise, you can choose to work on the desktop app. Grace is learning how to use Excel as Westcal need her to assist them with tracking finances and other data. As part of her training, Grace will need to become familiar with Excel's interface and tools. Excel is one of the more complex interfaces within the Microsoft Office suite, but don't worry. Here's an overview of Excel's interface. In Excel, the name of the currently open file is displayed in the title bar. There's also a ribbon interface, which displays tab commands organized into groups. You can use these commands to create and edit content in the document, like the page layout, formulas, and data. Next is the formula bar, in which you can enter data into a cell. Below this is the work area. This displays the data in your current file that you're working on. Finally, there's the status bar. This bar displays running calculations and other information about the workbook. And that's your overview of Excel's main features and interface. You're now ready to begin exploring Excel and its numerical management features. Microsoft PowerPoint is one of the most used apps in the Microsoft 365 Office suite. And like with many of the other apps available in the Microsoft 365 Office suite, you've probably used PowerPoint before. So take a moment to refamiliarize yourself with the basics. Microsoft PowerPoint is Microsoft's presentation software program, which is used to create professional presentations. You can create anything from a basic slideshow to a self-running narrated presentation using pictures, embedded videos, and sound. Like other apps, PowerPoint is available both online and offline, but with more functionality on desktop. Here's a look at how PowerPoint is used over at Westcal. Grace is working on improving her PowerPoint skills. Westcal often uses PowerPoint to produce presentations for clients and their own internal departments. Grace would like to be able to create these presentations when she moves to the editorial department. To become more proficient with PowerPoint, Grace will need to familiarise herself with the program's interface. Take a closer look at the program and find out what elements users like Grace need to know about. The first part of the PowerPoint interface is the title bar. This is where the name of the current file is displayed, along with other information on the file. For example, you can see here that it's been saved. You can click the file name to change it. Then there's the ribbon interface. This displays tab commands organized into groups like Insert, Slideshow, and View. Next, we have the Slides pane. Each slide in the presentation is displayed in this pane as a thumbnail. To view a slide, just select it from the pane. Like other applications, there's also a working area. This is where you can view and edit content from the currently selected slide. Finally, there's the status bar. This bar is used to display information about the presentation, like the slide number and default language. You've now started your journey to creating professional and exciting PowerPoint presentations, having learned to navigate the app's interface and locate its main features. Microsoft Outlook is a cornerstone application for many businesses. Like with other Office applications, you've most likely used it before at some stage. So here's a quick recap on the basics. Microsoft Outlook is a powerful and easy-to-use information management application. You can manage your email, calendar, contacts, tasks, and much more, all from one central location. You can also connect and communicate more easily with your teammates. Like other apps, Outlook can also be accessed online or offline, but it's best to use the desktop app if you need more functionality and customizability. Over at Westcal, Grace is hoping to gain more advanced skills with Outlook. She's already familiar with the app, but only the basic features. She wants to develop more advanced skills so that she can take on more of a managerial role in which she organizes and runs meetings with clients using the app. Before she can begin to boost her skills, Grace first needs to show that she's familiar with Outlook's interface. She needs to know what the main features are and where to find them. Explore the interface and find out what features Grace should be familiar with. The first part of Outlook we'll focus on is the navigation commands. These are a series of commands that you can select to access different parts of Outlook, such as the app launcher, the search box, links to view notifications, change settings, get help, and the My Account task pane. Then there's the editing pane. You can use the editing pane to delete, move, and archive emails alongside other actions. Outlook also contains folders. You can use the Folders section to organize and access emails. Next to the folders is the navigation pane. These are shortcut icons that you can use to switch between features like Mail, Calendar, People, and To-Do or Task workspaces. Finally, there's the item list and reading pane. The item pane shows a list of items in the folder that you've currently selected, like your inbox. When an item is selected, it appears in the reading pane, where you can view its contents. And that covers our overview of Outlook's interface and features. Just like Grace, you've now also taken the first step to communicating and collaborating effortlessly with your colleagues. When working with Microsoft Office applications, you'll probably spend much of your time on the most used apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. However, Microsoft 365 offers several other Office applications that you might encounter from time to time. These applications include Microsoft Access, Microsoft Publisher, and Microsoft OneNote. Have you encountered these apps before? Don't worry if not. There are many Office users who aren't familiar with these apps. In some cases, they probably haven't even heard of them. So here's a look at what they're used for. Microsoft Access is Microsoft's database application. You can use it to enter, edit, and analyze data. Access also generates reports based on the data in the database. As of the latest updates, Access is only offered as a desktop app. Microsoft Publisher is Microsoft's desktop-only publishing application. It's used for creating professional digital content. With Publisher, you can design documents like event posters, newsletters, postcards, and even brochures with a range of easy-to-use functionalities. OneNote is Microsoft's note-taking program used to gather content into one location and to share your notes. OneNote's online version will keep your document constantly saved, but the desktop version is also useful when you've limited connectivity. Like with other Office applications, you need to be familiar with the interfaces on these apps so that you can locate and use their main features. Take a few minutes to review their interfaces and bring yourself up to speed. Like other Office apps, Access also has 4 primary elements. The first of these is the title bar. The title bar displays the name of the current databases and the name of the application. Then there's the ribbon interface, where you can access different views and editing tools. Next is the navigation pane. You can use this area to display tables, queries, and forms. Finally, there's the working area. This area lets you change data, design forms and reports, and construct queries alongside other actions. Next, let's explore the Microsoft Publisher interface. Like with Access, Microsoft Publisher has 4 primary features in its interface. There's a title area in which you can view the name of the current databases and application. You can access different design and editing tools using the ribbon interface. The Pages pane displays a list of thumbnails of all pages within the publication. And finally, there's the working area on which you can create your digital content. Next, let's look at the interface for OneNote. The first element in OneNote is the title area. In this area, you can view and access the app launcher, OneNote logo, the name of your note, notifications, and the My Account task pane. Then there's the ribbon interface. From here, you can access commands and editing tools, like in other apps. The notebook menu is used to display any open notebooks. Finally, there's the workspace, which displays the contents of your notes. You're now up to speed with the Microsoft Access, Publisher and OneNote applications, including their interfaces and main features. Along with the basic and familiar Office apps, you also have access to a variety of services with your subscription plan. These services range from communication tools and file storage to information sharing. In this lesson, you'll explore several of these services. And over the course of the lesson, you will develop familiarity with several services offered by the Microsoft 365 Business Standard subscription plan, understand the purpose of each service, and know how to navigate the interfaces of these services. So what services are explored in this lesson? Over the next few minutes, you'll look at Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, and finish with a short tutorial of how to access these and other Microsoft services. You might already be familiar with Microsoft Teams and may have even used it for communicating with colleagues. So here's a recap on the basics. Microsoft Teams is a collaborative cloud-based workspace where Microsoft 365 users can connect by sending messages, sharing files, and more. A team can be created for a department, a project, or almost anything you need. Microsoft Teams is also one of the most accessible applications. It's available as a desktop app, a web interface, and even a mobile app. You can be part of as many teams as you like, joining or leaving different teams as you need. Each team has its own channel where members can share messages, files, and other information. Just keep in mind that these teams and channels are divided into public and private. In public teams, the chat and its content is open to anyone. And in private teams, the chat and its content is accessible to invited users only. Over at Westcal, they've decided to adopt Microsoft Teams as their internal messaging service. However, this is a new challenge for Thomas, who's unfamiliar with Microsoft Teams. He now needs to learn how to navigate the service's interface and access its main features. Fortunately for Thomas, the Microsoft Teams interface is easy to navigate, and its features are very accessible to all users. On the header of the Teams interface is an app launcher. You can use this feature to access Microsoft 365 apps. Below the header is the new chat icon. Select this icon to start a new chat with someone from your Teams contact list. Above the chat icon is the search box. You can type / to search for a command or the @ symbol to search for a contact. Also on the header is your Microsoft 365 profile photo. Select the photo to access your Microsoft 365 profile. On the left-hand side of the interface, you'll find the sidebar. The sidebar contains a series of icons, each of which is a different feature within Teams, such as Activity, Chat, Teams, Calendar, Calls, and Files. Select a feature to access it. There's also the bottom part of the sidebar. This includes icons for apps, help, and a download button for the desktop app. Here's the main window. This displays content from the feature that you select from the sidebar. Finally, there's the contextual task pane. The task pane displays folders related to your current activity. Keep in mind that the task pane's display varies based on the selected feature. And that's all you need to know to get started with Microsoft Teams. You now understand what the Microsoft Teams service is and how it's used within organizations. You also know how to navigate its interface and access the main features. You're ready to get to work. You're probably already familiar with OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud-based storage solution. But did you know that business accounts have access to a slightly different version of OneDrive? It's called OneDrive for Business. Like with your personal OneDrive, OneDrive for Business is a cloud-based space for storing and managing documents. It's managed by your organization and provides additional tools that are not available with personal OneDrive accounts. Keep in mind also that it's separate from your personal account and that the two can't be connected. Here's how Westcal are making use of OneDrive for Business. Up to recently, Westcal have been storing their files on hard drives. But last month, they took the decision to move to a cloud-based storage service and so signed up to OneDrive for Business. They now need to migrate their files to the cloud. Grace has been tasked with adding and organizing Westcal's files within their OneDrive account. OneDrive has a range of features that Grace can use to manage Westcal's files. In this lesson, you'll explore these features alongside the basics of Microsoft's OneDrive for Business service. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to get started with OneDrive for Business by opening and navigating the service and its features, and collaborate with OneDrive by managing files within the service. So what kind of file management features does OneDrive for Business offer? With this cloud-based service, you can add files to your OneDrive account, create files directly within OneDrive, organize files using a system of folders, and delete files that you no longer need. Over the next few moments, you'll investigate the process steps for each of these actions. But to start, here's a look at how to access OneDrive for Business. To open OneDrive for Business, log into your Microsoft 365 account. Then click the OneDrive tile on your landing page or from the App Launcher pane. Once OneDrive is open, you can begin uploading files. There are two ways to upload a file to OneDrive. The first and easiest method is to drag and drop the file from File Explorer or your desktop to the OneDrive window. The second method is to click the Upload button in the OneDrive window. Then choose whether you want to upload a file or folder. This action launches the Open dialog box. Locate and select the files or folders to upload, then click Open. The selected items are uploaded to OneDrive. You can also create files using Office Online via OneDrive. To start, click New. Then choose the type of file you would like to create. Your file is created and opened using the appropriate app in a new tab. You can now work with the file as normal. Notice that you can also create folders from here, once no files are selected. When prompted, enter the file name. Then click Create. Another great feature in OneDrive is the ability to organize files within your account, just as you would within Windows. To begin organizing your files, move your mouse to the left of the target file names. Then click the circle that appears. The organization commands appear at the top of the file list. You can use these commands to open, share, copy link, download, delete, rename, automate, move, and copy files. You can also view the version history of a file. You will also find some of these commands on the right-click menu. And don't forget that you can drag and drop files into folders to organize them. Finally, here's a look at how to delete files and folders. To delete a file or folder from your OneDrive for Business account, first select the file. Then click Delete on the top bar. Or right-click the file and then click Delete from the options that appear. When prompted, click Delete to confirm. The selected file or files are then moved from your OneDrive for Business account to the Microsoft 365 recycle bin. You're now ready to get started with OneDrive for Business and help your team with managing their files on the service. Did you know that with OneDrive for Business, you and your team can manage files using a range of different collaboration tools? Here's a look at how they're using these tools over at Westcal. Thomas is working with some confidential Westcal files on their OneDrive for Business account. He needs to share these files with select members of his team and their new client. But he must make sure that the files can only be viewed or edited by the select team members he's provided access permissions for. Fortunately for Thomas, OneDrive for Business offers several tools that he can use to perform these actions. So what are these tools and what actions can you perform with them? With OneDrive for Business collaboration tools, you can share files within and outside of your organization and sync your computer and OneDrive account so you can access files via File Explorer. Sync your OneDrive files with the app, backup files to the OneDrive PC folder to prevent data loss, and protect files with OneDrive for Business's password encryption and two-step verification features. That's a lot of features to get your head around, but don't worry, as over the next few minutes, you're going to explore each one and find out how they work. To start, here's a look at the document sharing feature. Any file in your OneDrive for Business account can be shared with other OneDrive users inside and even outside of your organization. To begin sharing files, first select the target file. You can then choose between one of several methods to share the file. Select Share on the top bar. Hover over the file and click the Share button. Right-click the file and then click Share. And you can also select the ellipses and then the Share option. Once you click a Share option, the Share pop-up dialog box appears. Here you can choose who you want to share the file with and add a message. Keep in mind that sharing the document will give the recipient editing privileges. After you've added the recipient and message, click Send to complete the process. A link to the file is then emailed to your recipient. You can also use the Copy Link command to view a direct link to the file. You can then share the file by sending the direct link in an email or instant message. But what if you want to change another user's access levels or completely remove them from the file? With OneDrive for Business's access permissions, you can perform these actions and more. To change the access settings, click the box under the Send Link header. The Send Link box then switches to the Link Settings box. You can now choose who has access to the file. To give your recipients editing permissions, just check the Allow Editing checkbox. You can also choose when the link expires, set a password, and restrict downloading. To finish, click Apply. The status of the selected documents is then changed to Shared. OneDrive also lets users configure OneDrive for Business Sync. By syncing your OneDrive for Business account to your computer, you can access files in File Explorer instead of relying on a browser. These files will then be available to you even if you are offline. And any changes you make are automatically synced back to the OneDrive for Business account when you come back online. The OneDrive app on desktop also lets users transfer files to the OneDrive PC folder backup to avoid any unwanted incidents of data loss. All the backed up files are also available to access on other devices. Finally, let's look at how to protect files on OneDrive. Microsoft provides strong security and privacy for users' information. This includes measures such as an indicator for password strength, encryption on mobile devices, and two-factor verification. These measures all work together to safeguard users' personal information. Let's look at password strength and find out how to set strong passwords. From the home page, click Settings and then Change your password. You're then redirected to the Change Password page. Keep in mind that you might have to log in again before you can access the page. On the Change Password page, you can type in your old password and then a new password. A small bar under the Create New Password box will indicate the strength of your new password. The stronger the password is, the more secured your login credentials will be. If your password is too weak, the bar switches to red. An alert appears that suggests how to create a stronger password. If your new password is at medium strength, the bar will change to orange with the red alert. If you've chosen a strong password, then the bar will change to green. Once you've chosen a strong password, retype it to confirm and then click Submit to finish. You're then redirected back to the OneDrive homepage. As you've just seen, OneDrive for Business offers some great tools for managing your workspace and files. And you're now ready to begin using these tools to collaborate on projects with your teammates. Most organizations upload hundreds, if not thousands, of different documents and other items to Microsoft 365 every day. And these documents are often shared with countless employees across the business, not to mention all the conversations and activities that are generated between teams. So how can you navigate your way through all of this and quickly find what you need? Thankfully, you can find and save anything you need in Microsoft 365 using Delve. Delve is a cloud-based solution that allows you to view activity across your organization's Microsoft 365 environment. Think of it as an automatically populated feed where you can see everything relevant that is happening around you. Delve provides quick, easy access to documents, people, conversations, and activities linked to your user account. Users will only see documents they already have permissions for. Items not shared with them will never be accessible. Here's a look at how Westcal use Delve. Westcal have uploaded a new Excel spreadsheet to Microsoft 365. Thomas needs to locate this spreadsheet and several related documents so that he can update them. With Delve, Thomas can locate the spreadsheet and the service will then link him to the related documents. Not only can Thomas use Delve to locate the spreadsheet, but he can also save it to his favorites to access it whenever he needs. In this lesson, you'll learn how to use these features within Delve. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to access items in Delve, search for items in Delve, share items with your team in Delve, add search results to your favorites, and manage search results and documents with Delve boards. With Delve, you can access shared items, search for items, and add search results to your favorites. So how do you access the Delve service and get started? To open Delve, log into your Microsoft 365 account. Then click the Delve tile on your landing page or from the App Launcher pane. The Delve homepage is displayed in a new tab. The most popular and relevant documents are displayed on the homepage. You can also use the navigation pane on the left-hand side of the homepage to view your items, favorite items, and pages of people you're associated with. Once you've logged into the homepage, you can begin to search for items. Let's explore the search process. You can search for items in Delve using the search field on the left side of the homepage. To find a particular item in Delve, type the search terms in the search field. Delve displays results as you type, just like the internet and social media search engines. Select a search result to open it. If you want to display all the results, click the right arrow next to the search box. The results will be shown in more detail. You can scroll down to view more documents. Once you've found the results you're searching for, how do you save them so that you can quickly access them again? You can use Delve's bookmark feature. To add Delve items from the search results to your favorites, click the bookmark icon in the bottom left corner of a result. Then click the left arrow next to the search box to return to the homepage. Select the Favorites menu from the left-hand sidebar. Your selected item is added to the Favorites group, so you can quickly view it again when needed. You're now ready to access the Delve service, search for results, and save them to your favorites. During your use of Microsoft 365 services, you might have come across OneDrive for Business, a Microsoft service used widely by a range of different organizations. But if not, don't worry. Here's a quick recap on the basics. OneDrive for Business is the Microsoft cloud-based service that helps you manage, store, and share your documents with your teammates. OneDrive is accessible through an internet browser or a desktop app, which makes collaboration possible anywhere. Westcal have started using OneDrive to store and transfer documents between teams. Thomas has used this service previously in another job, but has forgotten much about how it works. He now needs to refamiliarize himself with its interface and features. The OneDrive for Business service isn't difficult to get a handle on. In fact, it works in a similar way to other Microsoft services. Take a few moments to explore it. The first part of the OneDrive for Business interface to take note of is the title bar. The title bar contains features such as the App Launcher, the search box, settings, help, and access to your Microsoft 365 profile. Below the title bar is the document pane. The title bar contains links to help you create, upload, and automate your documents. On the left-hand side of the interface is the navigation pane. This includes folders and files in your OneDrive, as well as shared libraries. From the bottom of this sidebar, you can also access a link to download OneDrive apps and return to the classic OneDrive interface. If you have admin rights, then there will also be a link to the OneDrive Administration Center. Finally, there's the Files area. This displays folders and files for the selected items from the navigation pane. And that's everything you need to know to get started with OneDrive for Business. You now know how to navigate the OneDrive interface and access its main features. You'll be up and running in no time. A single search in Delve can generate countless results across multiple Microsoft 365 services. So how do you manage all these results? Well, the good news is that Delve's boards is the perfect feature for this task, especially when combined with bookmarks. And not only can you manage items with boards, but you can also send them to other colleagues using Delve's share options. Boards in Delve act like folders. You can manage search results and frequent documents by grouping them together in boards. Your boards will also be available to others in your organization. Here's a look at how Westcal make use of boards in Delve. Grace is helping Westcal to prepare a publication for review. However, before the publication can be sent to the reviewer, Westcal need to locate the previous drafts. Grace has been tasked with locating these drafts using Delve. She needs to save the drafts to a board, then send links to the documents to her team. Grace can use Delve's share features to send the documents to her team. Here's a look at some of the other features available with Delve. You can use Delve to send items to team members using Delve's share options and manage the items that you find in Delve using the boards feature. To start off, here's a look at how to create and manage boards. To manage your boards, click the Manage Boards stacked icon in the bottom left corner of any Delve search result. In the dialog box that appears, you can select or enter the name of the board that you want to add a search result to, or enter a unique name to create a new board. Press Enter to add the Delve search result to the specified board. Delve will create a new board if required. You can now add the results to more boards or close the pop-up window to go back to Delve. You can access boards from the navigation pane. You can also share or remove boards using the commands at the top of the board window. Select Send a Link to share the selected board, or select Remove from Favorites to remove the board from your favorites. To remove an item from a board, click the stacked icon again to open the pop-up dialog box. You can then click the X on an item to remove it from a board. You can also add the item to other boards by typing the appropriate name in the Add to a Board field. Now that you've located the items you need and compiled them into a board, you'll probably want to share them with your team. There are several share options available in Delve. On the Delve homepage, locate the item that you want to share. To share the item, click the ellipsis in the bottom right-hand corner of the document. Clicking the ellipsis opens three options. With the first option, Send a Link, you can share the document directly with other team members. The Copy Link option lets you save the link and then send it using other communication platforms. Finally, the Who Can See This option directs you to the SharePoint page, where you can edit and view who has access to the document. Click Send a Link to share the document. Choose the recipients and click Send. With Delve, you have access to several useful features for organizing and sharing your search results. And you now know how to make use of these features to collaborate with your team. Great work. Over the course of the previous few lessons, you've explored how to get started with Microsoft 365 apps and services. Here's a quick recap on what you've learned. You now know how to navigate your Microsoft 365 account to locate different apps and services, find help with issues you encounter and change your settings as required, and download and open desktop apps. You're now also up to speed with the basics of Office 365 applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Outlook. And you're also familiar with Access, Publisher and OneNote. You've also explored Office 365 services like Microsoft Teams, OneDrive and OneDrive for Business and Delve. You now know how to use OneDrive to access the OneDrive services and set up an account. Add different types of files to a OneDrive account. Organize files within folders in the OneDrive workspace, and collaborate with other team members using OneDrive. And you can use the Delve service to explore and access items with Delve, share items with other team members, create a Delve board in which you can bookmark items, view your personal Delve page, and manage your results. You've reached the end of this module. You're now ready to get started with Microsoft 365. Great work.